Okay, we're going to test this again, see if this works. I'm trying to run this through Fraps. It's the only way I can record sound right now. The Elgato will not, at least for me, I don't know. There must be some sort of tweak I can do. I think I have to buy some proper AV cables, but my Elgato will not record PC game sound if I'm trying to record a PC game through it. It's specifically designed for consoles, really, so we'll see. I just wanted to test this out and see if it works. This is a new game to me. I'm not much of a gamer anyway, so there you go. But this is Skyshine's BEDLAM Redux. And it's sort of a post-apocalyptic Mad Max kind of game in a way. It's a turn-based RPG roguelite, or roguelike, I guess. I don't know. So I'm sure some nerd out there will correct me on the proper terminology. Newsflash, I don't give a fuck. This is fun. Apparently this game had a lot of problems when it first came out, hence the Redux. Apparently since then the reviews have been fairly stellar, so we're going to have arcade mode or campaign. We're going to go into campaign. Alright. Fraps does not like this game at all. So basically what you're doing is you're taking a big, massive truck called a dozer that's sort of like the size of a small town or something like that, and you're going through this apocalyptic wasteland from your home city to this fabled city of plenty and, you know, sort of like heaven on earth kind of thing. And you gotta make your way through all these tribes and different factions and stuff in the wasteland and fight them, and you have a sort of team of guys on your truck that are your main crew that you can build up RPG style, build their stats up and stuff. If they die, there's permadeath for them, so they'll be gone. So let's see what we got here. The humans have a couple different dozers. And we'll just stick with the humans this time out. You can pick different factions here. You can be mutants, humans, cyborgs, AI, and marauders, which are basically humans in the wasteland. And you can mix and match them as well. You can have a mix of all different kinds of factions in your starting crew if you so desire. They'll have sort of their weaknesses and strengths. Humans are sort of the balanced, middle-of-the-road kind of guys, so we'll stick with that. You can pick your crew for your thing. You have 14 rookies, 3 veterans, 8 rookies, 1 elite, 1 veteran, 7 rookies, 2 elites, and 5 rookies. And, well, I want at least 1 elite and 1 veteran on there, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. This is my dozer. It's got my weapons here. The nuker, atomize your enemies. This will all become more clear once I get into a battle and we'll see what this stuff does. But my choices here are limited for the dozers so far. Every time you win the game, you sort of like unlock different stuff. So there you go. So mine's the bone shaker. So you see, this is how many people are on board, like how many just sort of like civilians you have in the thing. This is how many days you've used so far in your quest for this fabled city. I think it's called Aztec City. This doesn't matter so much, other than I think adding or subtracting to your score at the end. Here's how much crude you have, and of course you have to keep track of that, or you know, if you run out, you won't be able to go anywhere. Here's how much food you have to keep track of that, otherwise your people start dying off. And here's how much energy you have, and it's basically this is sort of like the experience points kind of thing for your truck. The more of that you have, the more you can use to upgrade things in your truck, and use your weapons on your truck and things like that in battle. So we're gonna go easy.
The Bone Shaker.
So here we go. Here's the map. So we're up here in Byzantine, which is sort of this big city, massive, like state-sized city. It actually takes like a day just to get out of the city. And then you go down through here. try to get to Aztec City. So yeah, and then you have these choices here to start with, different places you can go. As you can see, the little symbols there. The top one has the sun there. It takes 1 day to get there, 35 fuel to get there, and 30 meat to get there. As you see, elite battles. These are guys you can fight who can, if you beat them, they become part of your crew. These symbols here are for your resources. So you see this here. Energy. There's an energy depot there where you get extra energy. There's a fuel depot there. I haven't run into a meat depot yet. I assume that happens later on as you open up more of the game. So yeah, let's. Where should we go? I've played this a couple times now. I've gone to Bludgeon and Thud Skull. Let's go to Animosity Pass, I guess. I think they change everything around every time you go in here too. I think it's procedurally generated, so from what I can tell, the names and everything like that seem to change every time, and the stuff in the locations changes every time, so you're always getting these random encounters and things like that, so it's never the same game twice through. So we'll go to Animosity Pass. There's a little bit of a choose your own adventure element to this as well. So at the city's outer wall, the formidable automated outer defenses are deactivated and the aluminium alloy barricades slowly part. Ionized mist suddenly wafts into the staging bay from the deadly environment outside, instantly disintegrating an unprepared technician caught too close to the exit, a cruel harbinger of the journey's impending danger. Dozer engines rumble to life, and the great machine forges ahead into the desolate realm of Bedlam. So here we go, and I have one option open to me right now, so let's go there. As the dozer travels along the road, the vehicle slows as it enters an area that was populated long ago. The crew disembarks to search for valuable items or local citizens who may be interested in trade. Suddenly, from the surrounding rubble, a group of various combatants rushes forth and attacks. So here's my crew screen. These are the guys on my crew. This is the mechanic. He's like the main sort of hero of the thing. And I have Chris Dog here. These guys are both Deadeyes, so they're basically snipers. Frontliners are these big beefy guys that you send in front to absorb bullets. And they usually do like melee damage and stuff like that. See, they got like laser swords or some shit. Gunslingers are your middle of the road guys. They can move a lot. They do sort of middle of the road damage. And trenchers are sort of like shotgun guys. They have to get close to fight, but they have really good damage close up, and they can push enemies back when you're fighting them on the map. So let's see what we got. We got Chris Dog and the mechanic, so we got our two Deadeyes, and I want Leandra as a trencher. Constance, who are you? She's a gunslinger. I don't want her on there. I'll put Guyver on there. And you can change their names too, I think, if you want, yeah. You can see they're rookies. They're all, he's a level 1 elite. Rookie, rookie, rookie. Battles, kills. It keeps track of your battles and your kills. The more kills you get, the more you go up in rank, and then you can improve stats when you go up in level. After 3 kills, you go up a level. So then you can add points to health damage. I think booth range and attack range too, I think. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that one. Yeah, so I think we got our team there, and we'll go in the boat. Since I'm recording on Fraps, it's probably going to be a massive file, so I'm not going to go too long. I might just go about half an hour, and then we'll just keep coming back for more and more parts, because it does save your current campaign automatically. Here's the battle screen. So over here we have the two options currently on my truck. So if I want to use one of my truck weapons, I can do that, but at the cost of energy. You see down here the lightning bolt. And there's how much I have in my truck right now. And these are two, I guess, battle equalizers they're called. This one adds health. This one puts a shield around my guys. The health one costs food. The shield one costs food. But here's my team. And you basically move them all. Shows how far you can move. The little target things out here show the basically the shooting range where it's standing. So I got all my guys here, and let's see what I'm fighting. I got one cyborg up here I'm fighting. And this is how the battlefield usually looks. They give you some sort of variation of this. Different environments, of course. Sometimes there's environmental things you can use to your advantage. So let's move the mechanic. He's my heavy hitter right now. And I got my two trenchers there. I'll just keep them close to the mechanic. I don't want to get too close. You can do two movement actions, or one movement action and an offensive action, or just one offensive action every turn for every guy. And I got my sharpshooter here. The special skill of humans is that they get an extra movement point, or extra movement square, I guess, every round. It's one of their racial advantages. So as you can see here, I got this screen highlighted, and a target comes up and shows that that's within my range to shoot. I move that far, so move that far, and then we're gonna take shots. There we go. Guy in front, just in case that robot decides to go after that guy who just shot him. Alright, that should be good enough. Well, he just used up his entire turn there. So heal this guy, and you want to heal these guys on the battlefield, otherwise they'll have to heal back on the truck and they'll be unavailable to you for a couple days. Fucked that up. That one too. So I won the battle, then you see what the rewards are. I got 211 meat, 12 energy, and 169 barrels of crude. And that's basically the basics of how it works, and it seems like it's very simplistic, and it is kind of really simplistic and streamlined in a way, but there actually is quite a bit of strategy going on in it as well, and it gets deeper as you go on. The game does ease you into it fairly well, so you see these little exclamation marks here? They're basically side mission. It takes you a day to go to any one of them, where you usually get extra benefits along the way in the journey. Cresting a hill, the crew members find a large makeshift statue of a fearsome armored man. Judging by the imposing spike-covered carapace and scowling helmet, the statue is erected in recognition of King Viscera, the merciless, self-proclaimed overlord of Bedlam. Around the base of the statue is a group of marauders, exuberantly smashing away at a figure with blunt instruments and painting crude language on it, all the while howling with glee. The apparent leader acknowledges the crew's presence. Curiously, she and the marauders make no sign of hostile intention towards them, instead focusing their animosity on the statue. So here you can attack, leave, or inquire about the activities. So that's what we're going to do. The female leader approaches and animatedly provides explanation. Hype this chumbo. I'll sell you the scene. King Viscera thinks he can dominate Bedlam, while Punka get Grisk don't give tribute to nobody but Punka Grisk. See? Me and Clutch here, we pillage where we want, and we keep what we keeps. Other folks around here can cower and build their jankin' statues and hand over their hard swipe goods, but I ever meet Viscera, I'll murderize them myself. So I can actually invite her and her buddy on as crew members, and since we're slowly just starting to build up the crew, that's what we're gonna do. So then you can, where is it? You look at your crew here and you can see the new people. Okay, so she's a sharpshooter as well, so now I got a new sharpshooter on there. And where's her buddy? Grist, wasn't it? Maybe this was the guy. Here you can look at your armaments, so you can find new weapons and equalizers and relics and stuff like that as you go along in the game. And what else do I want to show? Oh, here's where you can upgrade your stuff at the cost of energy. Kind of want to do this one. So far I can go up 5 levels. I don't know if I can go any higher than that, but so there we go. So now let's go to this one. On the crest of a nearby ridge, the crew sees what looks like a huge trebuchet built on a spike-covered armored vehicle is hurling heavy loads of unidentified flaming objects far into the distance. Several marauders are operating a catapult, whooping with delight each time the weapon launches its payload. The crew draws closer, they can see that the catapult is being packed with dismantled cyborg corpses from a pile in an oversized wagon. Each bombardment flings a hefty bundle of ignited components and carcasses over the horizon into a neighboring territory. Marauders have noticed the crew's arrival, but seem too enthused by the grim activity for a skirmish. So let's approach them again. The leader of the Marauders addresses the crew. Come to watch Basha Pike chucking the grudge, have ya? For giving it to those filthy jankin' gearheads. You know what they say about payback, right? It's a fiery heap of flesh and metal we'll dump on your skulls, ha! Let's invite her onto the dozer. Only if we bring the catapult, roaming in a mean might monster dropping grudges all over the territories. Fabbing offer. Basha Pike is willing. Basha Pike joins the dozer crew, and we get the grudge catapult installed as a dozer weapon. So here we go. There you go. Weaponized marauder environment of hatred for cyborgs, hurling dismantled and compacted corpses of their defeated rivals. So there, I got an extra weapon already in my... and let's go. As the crew approaches the mouth of the canyon, a man and a woman with panicked expressions come rushing from the shadows. Their clothes are tattered, both seem to have suffered injuries from bladed weapons. A couple dashes past the crew and scampers across the crimson dunes, disappearing from view. A clutch of marauders emerges from the canyon, chasing after them. Lost a couple of our favorite chopping dolls. You bunch of lunks will have to take their place. Okay. Mechanic, Chris Dog. Let's put Driver back in there and let's get Punka. See here, I said environmental stuff will help. Here I can use these barrels. If I get a range to shoot them, they'll explode for 3 squares in any direction. So I can use them to basically hurt this motherfucker if he gets close to them. So keep that in mind. Oh, you made a big mistake, my friend. Massive mistake. So he threw this, and this is going to explode in one turn, so if I get out of the range in the orange here, I'll be fine. But what I'm going to do is expend a little fuel. Shield up, which will reduce the damage I take from that explosion, and then I will use my point here. Oh, this works. So, select him again. Heal him. There. Since I killed him, his shit won't explode on me. So you see there's strategy in this. Which way do I want to go? Okay, I want to go down here because it looks like that will get me closer to energy now. The more battles you win, the more this King Viscera guy, who's your main rival, ups the threat level, so you end up fighting more guys in the fights. Hit on the side of the road, you can see a ratty gang of ruthless marauders sprinting across the terrain. They appear to be approaching an encampment of nomads and are most likely preparing to unleash murderous intent. If those who comes to halt, your crew disembarks, armed for conflict, and marauders immediately take notice. Trying to meddle with our joy kills, we're going to collect your skull. And we'll go with the same team, why not? Man, Fraps does not like this game at all. Okay, this thing here is kind of neutral. As long as I stay out of its way, it won't attack me. This is an environmental hazard at this moment. So, see where he goes. Okay, I should be able to... Nice. Kill me on any one of these turns. So. Oh, he fucked up anyway. There we go.
Veteran.
After climbing a rocky ridge, the crew discovers a makeshift shack assembled from various scrap nestled in a crevice of a cliff wall. Approaching cautiously, the crew notices a patch of dried blood in the gravel near the entrance of the shack. Weapons at the ready, the crew enters the shack to find 3 desiccated corpses, 2 marauders, and a bedlam denizen whose home was apparently invaded. The man who lived here clearly put up a fight. Further inspection of the shelter interior, the crew uncovers a hidden compartment in the floor containing what the inhabitant was likely protecting, a rack of fully charged power cells. The crew returns to the dozer of the valuable stash. Towards the area, discover a path bored in the ground, the surface scorched. Some kind of otherworldly craft once landed here. At the end of the path, almost entirely buried in terrain, is a vessel of unknown origin. Seems entirely intact despite likely being there for ages. The surface of the vessel is entirely smooth with no apparent damage or entry points. Crew's fusion torches cut a hole through the hull, and as they cautiously entered the vessel, a series of lights blinked to life. Upon investigation, it seems that much of the craft's equipment was damaged in the crash and is non-functional. However, they discover one intact piece of extraterrestrial technology that appears to be able to immediately create a temporary duplicate of the user. Dozer technicians researched and reconfigured this device for humans, turning it into a battle equalizer to give the crew an advantage in combat. The instant doppelganger has been installed as a battle equalizer on your dozer. That's cool. That actually gives you an extra guy basically on the field to fight with, who you can expend as well, which is the important thing. Basically just use him as a meat shield. So dozer travels. An immense vehicle halts, rumbling from beneath the ground. Crew exits the dozer, discovers a massive purple vines that suddenly sprouted from the surface and are holding the vehicle at their grasp. As the crew attempts to find a way to free the vehicle from the belligerent vegetation, they are suddenly attacked by a hostile group of assorted factions. Okay. Let's do it. Could probably be like 2 people to fight this time around. I've got it on the easiest thing too. If I had it on a harder thing, there'd probably be like half a dozen guys here. Okay, so that's a mutant and he's a gunslinger, so limited range, limited damage, 9 health. Do that. Let's get to a spot where I can shoot you. Oh, nice. Health 4. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, you fucked up bad. You shot the exact wrong guy. Let's show you what the mechanic can do, shall we? I forgot his target ranges. Never mind. Like I said, I've only played this like twice, so. Okay, I still can't go there. Let's go up here. Ahead the road is what appears to be remnants of a recent battle. The dozer comes to a halt and the crew disembarks to find the bodies of several slain combatants from various factions. As the crew approaches closer look to check for survivors, the bodies suddenly leap from the ground and attack. It was a ruse. Alright. Try to get my mechanic guy here to get some kills. You can shoot that right from there. That's awesome. Oh, we got 2 guys here this time. All right, dropping the stakes now, boys. Them come to me. Okay. Yeah, let them come to me. Mechanic go to work, baby. How about that shit? Oh, you made the mechanic mad. Right.
Headshot.
Nice. Okay, I can go to the fuel depot. I'll go to these side things first. Crew explores the area, discover rusted metal doorway built in the side of a cliff wall. Large metal cog engraved with various symbols over the doorway. Crew uses their fusion torches to cut through the latch of the door. Inside they find what looks like an elevator. Controls no longer appear functional. Have the mechanic repair the controls. See, that's the good thing about having some of these special guys. They have special abilities. So it can just open a multitude more paths for you if you come upon the proper random encounter. Mechanic repairs the controls of these, does not hesitate to activate them. Elevator descends underground a considerable amount of time, eventually comes to stop, and a large chamber appears undisturbed for ages. Ooh, it's a vault. Stepping into the elevator, crew finds a huge complex array of gears and cogs over the wall. Equipment that seems to have been used some time. Equipment responds to the mechanic's presence. Gears churn and the entire array begin winding, causing a stone pistol to rise from the floor. On the pedals is an ancient chrono device designed to create a localized temporal paradox that can reset a brief period of time around the user. The Dozer technicians researched and reconfigured this time-reversing device, turning it into a death-cheating battle equalizer to give the crew an advantage in battle. Relativity Eraser has been installed as a battle equalizer on your Dozer. Check this out. The death-cheating chrono device creates a localized temporal paradox that restores crew members to their optimum status. So you select one of your crew members with this for a turn, and if they're near death, I guess, if they die, it reverses and brings them back to life. So that's handy. This game's awesome. While the crew explores the area, their attention is drawn by a thick plume of black smoke behind a nearby ridge. In the ravine beyond, the crew can see an encampment of corporate excavators from Byzantine. Judging by their equipment and the logos of Saloon Overcorp, one of their vehicles seemed to be on fire. Greetings to you, travelers. It seems we find ourselves in something of a predicament. Suddenly the roar of approaching engines is heard, and several vehicles arrive. One of King Viscera's notorious outrider patrols. Pardon the deception, but we made an arrangement with this compelling King Viscera character in exchange for assisting with your elimination. He will allow us a complete examination of your Dozer once it is in his possession, permitting us to utilize the collected data as we see fit. He seems an entirely reasonable fellow. As the marauders surround the encampment, they quickly begin slaughtering the excavators before turning their attention to the crew. Gave these lunks a good rook. Now we're going to scoop out your skulls and deliver them to King Viscera. Let's see about that. sharpshooters. On either side here. You flank around here just in case. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you one of the weapons because I want to end this after this battle. And we'll come back in part 2. But I want to show you what the onboard weapons can do. Now that I have quite a bit of energy saved up, I'll use one of these just for your convenience. So let's use the nuke. And you see you got a area here where you can use it. I'm going to get the other guy with it. But to cancel, we're going to get more area with this. Oh yeah, here we go.
Incinerated veteran.
Nice. Love it. It was a glorious battle. What the fuck are you talking about? And we'll just go down here and get this energy cells. Quit it for now. You have located wreckage of what appears to have been a large orbiting space station, plummeted to the surface long ago and now half buried in blackened sands. Judging by the skeleton fragments that your crew find inside the mangled frame, it was also manned. As the station's equipment is demolished beyond repair, but an extensive search in the twisted metal structure yields positive results. Several functioning power cells are found among the debris. There we go, got back my power and then some from that previous battle, so win-win. Alright, and the other cool thing is, when I quit this and back out of the campaign and then rejoin it later, it'll actually change up a lot of this stuff. The locations and some of the stuff will change, and yeah, so I look forward to seeing what's different when I come back. Are you guys interested in seeing more of this? If so, let me know in the comments, and I'll bring back some more of this. But until then, we're going to quit the game. And there we go. See you guys later. Bye-bye.